you should have to explain the shit that's not true. The PCA doesn't have to be all facts, you know what I mean? But it has to be some, and none of the PCA was any fact at all.
Yeah, because I agree with you. Like, it's very a low probable cause that to met, right? But
Yeah,
at the
and
same
the problem is they sign off on it. The judges sign it and don't, you know what I mean?
at the same time, that probable cause was the whole reason they started the snowball effect with Meghan Markle having the warrant to go to Pennsylvania and go and dig into the trash.
Yeah, and they didn't even I don't think she got explained the whole situation, but she didn't ask either. So that's what
Right.
Cyray's talking about. He starts from where it starts. He's not just talking about police. He's talking about the whole justice system. Okay. Like I said, the man literally, I'm going to send you the link to it, made a company because of this case. When people try to tell you this book is not about the case and it's not, they full of shit. The man has a company literally in the UK and Germany talking about this case.
What's his name? Jay and Bree kind of like don't like Cyray.
I know, but Jay Embry I like him, but he gets a little too anxious about things, and then he has to go back and backtrack. He don't like Cyray because everybody wanted Cyray to shout from the rooftops, and that's not how this works. Cyray is doing shit like this because what he's doing is covering his ass to and proving what's wrong. He's not just fixing this case. He wants it because this happens in a lot of cases, just not the same way. He don't like corruption. He wants criminals too, but not if you're going to get them the wrong way. He doesn't like corruption.
And you seeing the whole situation about how the PCA was literally expunged, or let's say made irrelevant because the secret grand indictment was on top. I believe that was two things that I feel that a frank hearing was needed just for the purposes of clear the smoke in the air.
And then too, Cyray talks about how it's not, the way they do things is not up to date with technology either correctly. So it's not just bad police. That's what I'm saying. People have to realize it's not just like these cops sat down and said, we're going to plan this. That's not what happened. What happened is this is the way they are allowed to do investigations. So really, it's almost like they don't know any better because they weren't taught any different, okay? They are not taught how to go into a murder scene. And Cyray tells you this. He was a cop. They teach you some things, but they don't teach you. You have to learn it, and they need to be teaching them this. And their stuff needs to be up to date.
Don't we see in the first 48, the first thing that they tell whatever cops is around is like, no one goes in, no one goes out. I don't care who they are.
Yeah, but those people deal with those kind of murders every day. You know what I'm saying?
We see them like drinking coffee and having a little breakfast on the kitchen over there in the middle of a crime scene and shit, having a little meeting. Whole bunch of like 10 cops in the living room and everywhere. I'm like, what? Like, what's going on here?
And some of them didn't know. They didn't even know the fucking FBI. I mean, they are not up to date. So Cyray goes through and explains too that a lot of the stuff is because they're not taught. Some of this investigation was literally, they just were inexperienced and they didn't have anybody that was worth a fuck to help them. The Idaho State Police, most of them are crooked. They're not worth a fuck to help these Moscow police figure out what to do. You know what I'm saying? It's bad leadership.
Trisha, can we answer? I want to answer Joel's Mora. She said, you think that the stairs coming down from the third floor will have hella blood on the stairs and coming out of Santa's room? I mean, right? Yeah, in my opinion, I mean.
Yeah. And there was diluted blood, they said, you know, and there was blood they didn't even talk about. So, and the thing is, Brett Turvey, somebody said that the prosecution personally looked at pictures. So did Brett Turvey. They had tore down the house by the time he got on the case. So all he did was look at pictures. But he literally found hair. I don't understand why Ann Taylor didn't think, I think that's Dylan's hair, in my opinion. That hair was never tested. They just know it's not Bryan Kohberger's because it's too long. It's not the right color. I think it's Dylan's hair. And there's some reddish hair in Kiely's room that I think could be Quinn's because his hair is red.
Trish, do you heard that he was mixture of, let's say it was like what, two males, mixture on the Maddie's nail and a female profile, that it was two males and a female profile within her on the nails.
Yeah.
Do you think if any female would be part of such a situation, from what you vibe about, which females of all could be involved?
Dylan. I mean, there may have been another female. I don't think there was.
Oh
I think
God.
Dylan was.
You just gave me goosebumps.
But I don't know that she did. I'm not going to say she did the actual deed. I'm going to say that if y'all just think about this, if they did position Kiely and Maddie, and Brett Turvey said something very good. He said a lot of times people pose bodies to keep people from looking at the normal people they would look at. So there's that too.
Because they will pile up bodies like to conceal the whole motive, right?
The thing is, if Maddie's hand scraped Dylan, even while afterwards something got under her fingernails, that could be what that is. Because when you're moving bodies, you got to think they're heavy. That's what I'm saying. When everybody said Ethan got killed 2 miles away, I said they didn't fucking take Ethan. You know how much it would take to lift Ethan's big ass. But
someone. Word on the street again. Take it with a grain of salt. Allegations and word on the street is that Ethan got attacked at the living room. That's the whole blood spatter on the living room.
Yeah, I think Ethan got attacked before he got to the bed because there's not enough blood on the bed to me.
I feel you. And what about that blood coming out of the house?
you know, they cleaned it up. I mean, that bathroom being that clean is weird.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think that blood that he would, because it was not enough blood in Santa's room to have a flood of blood going to the side of the house, like that's all the way to the first floor. So do you think that at some point it was some kind of part of the cleaning, pushing the blood down the wall and down to the first?
Yeah, it could have been. And also, y'all, they had that heat turned up, they said, and that makes you bleed faster. Like, even, I guess, if you're not alive, it'll
accelerate the whole decomposition process.
And that could have been, there was a lot of blood on that floor. That could have been some of Xana's blood, too, that trailed over there. Because Xana was very, oh, God.
Yeah, she was closer to the wall, right?
And that's another thing. Dylan Mortensen did not fucking go by that room and think Xana was just fuck her and that statement.
If she seen her, she knew she was dead.
Fuck her and that statement. Fuck her all the way with that statement. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Tell somebody I don't like it.
What you feel about people saying that door was closed for a year and a half, almost longer?
No, it wasn't closed. She saw her. She saw her twice. She knew.
Right. So I believe that was BS though. Like that whole thing.
Wait a minute. Who lives in a house and calls people that don't answer? But that whole fucking story makes no sense. Okay. I want y'all to try that story. If you try that story, you're going to jail. I bet you $100 right now. Your ass is going to jail.
Yeah,
why they do it?
Yeah, because you're not gonna say you are such a stress about it.
She went too in detail about a fucking masked man and a vacuum cleaner, and because she knew they cleaned. That just tells you there she knew they cleaned. So she's gonna say a vacuum cleaner. You ain't clean no goddamn blood up with no vacuum. Bitch, shut the fuck up. I can't do it. She knows that they cleaned. That's what I'm saying. If you listen to her story, her her inconsistency, she tells you exactly what she didn't see. A fucking masked man.
And the whole part about her saying that she don't even know if everything was real or not.
Oh yeah, she's full of shit. And like, she might have thought a masked man, but she knew who was in that fucking mask. Okay.
But won't you as a cop, would you try to find out their intoxication levels or the toxins or whatever you have in your body to determine like what kind of effect you could have at the time of the crime, you know, because again, by the time the test is done, the level's going to be lower, but you could determine how high you was, you know what I mean?
She might have been on drugs. They might have gave her something to some kind of drugs, but I don't think she was that drunk. Not drinking no white. I don't think she was.
I don't think that she was that fucked up like she said she was because she told her dad.
I think it was planned, and this was the storyline, is what I think. Just like the 911 call was a fucking shit show act that I could not even just. I wanted to go to Moscow and like
I have to stay out of Idaho, but I just want to go slap everybody. Okay. Like, I don't know, but people are sleeping just fine at night. I shouldn't say this.